Joined
Okay.
by McNeese head football coach Frank Wilson. Coach, thank you so much for joining me.
Thanks for having me. Glad to be here.
Here we are in January of 2021. It's been more than a year since you've been hired, and you have yet to coach a game for the Cowboys. What are you most excited about finally being able to take the field for a competitive game this spring?
I think it's a big deal for our community. The rest of the Southland Conference endured what is a pandemic that has plagued our nation and the world, to be quite frank with you. We're unique because we had to overcome two hurricanes as well. And so the devastation of those hurricanes has really gotten our community excited. I think football back, our flagship community university allows us to have something to look forward to and to have that family moment yet again. I think we're woven into the very fiber of this community, and to be the only show in town up and down the I-10 corridor, whether you're going to Lafayette, Baton Rouge, or back the other way, it's a big deal for the citizens of Southwest Louisiana. And so just to be able to give a source of resemblance of normalcy for our city, for our team, for our community, for our university is what I'm most excited about.
You mentioned the two hurricanes that came through this past
Yeah.
summer, obviously disrupted probably whatever you were trying to do in terms of fall preparation. How have you had to adjust and change the way that you've prepared for this upcoming season?
We were without one another for quite some time. And so it hit early September, the hurricane, the first one, Laura. And so leading into it a week or days, 4 or 5 days before it hit, we had to evacuate. So that stopped before we ever got our fall camp started. So fall camp never got underway for us. And then when we came back, the devastation was unimaginable. Buildings were torn down, rooftops were flown off, but more importantly, we had people who were living in shelters, people who were homeless, people who had to go elsewhere to seek refuge, and so that became the priority, not just for our university, but for our community. And for me and for our administration, it was to make sure our student athletes, our faculty, our administration, and our coaches, everybody was okay. And it took some time to figure all that out. Finally, sometime in November, we were able, by the grace of our university president and powers to be, we came back. But we didn't come back to campus. We came back to a Marriott property that hosted us, and where we were 90+% occupancy there, just to give us some type of hope, some type of team and camaraderie, that our family could come back together. And our first event was our Thanksgiving dinner. And so we've been back only that short amount of time. And so we changed everything. And once we started practicing, we had to do so at a local high school, Barb High School, that we were very grateful for. And we used their facilities because it was only within the last 14 days, our building has been deemed acceptable for us to be in.
What are some of the takeaways you've seen as you've been able to take the field with your team in the last couple of weeks?
The ultimate respect for our sport that it requires. Team. It's the greatest team sport, in my opinion, that God ever invented, because it takes so many pieces to make it work. And whether you're talking about nutrition or training table staff, whether you're talking about sports medicine, strength and conditioning, equipment, field maintenance, the boys themselves, the staff, ourselves, that you can't, at some point within the day through in the camp, that department, that individual is the most important person for your organization to allow it to go off in the manner that you set forth. And so just much admiration for the support that we have throughout this campus. I know that this sport can humble you. And so, Courtney, we have a lot of work to do, an awful lot of work to do to get us in position to play well. And a spring season that's 3 weeks away. And so we're excited about it. We're grateful for it. We'll play well. and we'll be ready to go. But I guess to answer your question simply, it's the reality of what it takes to get ready for a season was put in great perspective with a lot of time given and a lot of time that we had missed.
You mentioned 3 weeks. You're one of the first teams
Yeah.
to kick off the spring season against
Yeah.
Tarleton State. In terms of identity of your team, what type of team will we see on the field?
Yeah, a disciplined football team, a team that will fight till the very end. We're still searching exactly what is our identity, what's our greatest strength based on our personnel, but a team that's personnel driven will do the things that our players can do extremely well. But I think you'll see a team that goes in that will fight, will claw, will stretch for victory, that play together as a team and complement one another in all three phases of the football game. Um, and I'm not quite sure how that'll look, but we'll see.
Who are a couple individuals in particular who have really stepped up in terms of leadership?
I think a guy named Cam Peterson comes to mind. He's one of the stellar guys of our interior defensive line. He's a part of our SAC committee. He's a voice on this campus. He's conscientious about current event issues. He's involved, engaged in voting rights and getting information out to our student athletes. I think he's been a tremendous asset for us, for our football team. I think Cody Ogeron continues to lead our team, not as boisterous, but by example. He and both Trevor Beggy are guys I think just do the right thing, and our young players follow them. But the guy that's probably been most boisterous have been Cam Peterson.
And then when you and your team are in that locker room before that game on February 13th, after everything you've been through, hurricanes, dealing with a pandemic, a year plus of actually being able to take the field for a game, what will your message be to the team?
Go play. Go have fun. Yeah, go play the game like yesteryear when you were a little boy in your front yard and you played for the love of it. That you've been blessed with a God-given ability. Go show yourself. Let your personality show in style of play, and let's see where that brings us to. Again, we'll have them assignment sound. We will put them in position from a schematic standpoint that we believe gives us our best chance to win. And if they are able to play up to their potential, to the best of their ability, I'd be ecstatic about it because I think that'll be good enough to allow us to have all the success we need.